My first guest tonight is one of 13 Republican representatives who signed on to a letter calling for Attorney General Jeff Sessions to appoint that second special counsel to investigate Clinton and Obama corruption. Congressman Lee Zeldin, a member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Congressman, great to have you with us. Let's start with the prospects for a second special counsel, particularly focused on the Obama Justice Department and FBI.
It's absolutely necessary. You can't expect the DOJ and the FBI to investigate themselves. While President Trump and his family were being investigated for winning the election without any evidence that they committed any crime to win the election, you actually have all sorts of evidence that there was misconduct at the highest levels of the DOJ and FBI with regards to how and why the Clinton probe ended, how and why the Trump-Russia probe began, and all the FISA abuse that took place when you're bringing those secret documents to a secret court for a warrant to spy on a U.S. citizen. There's actual evidence of misconduct from the Obama DOJ FBI. That is what really should be investigated, and you can't expect DOJ and FBI to investigate themselves. A special counsel has to be appointed to go after it.
You know, the present special counsel, though, I think Congressman Zeldin argues, if not persuasively, certainly strongly, that a second counsel just seems to be doubling our problems right now. And I find myself, frankly, wondering how in the world it is that a special counsel in and of itself is a constitutional institution that should be preserved, because to me, it seems utterly to put our Constitution on its head and to frustrate a sitting president and his administration, who have far better things to do than to deal with a special counsel on a witch hunt that has produced nothing and yet persists and widens his inquiries inexplicably, and I think beyond all reason.
Well, it's really important to note that, for one, it really is hard to imagine the Department of Justice and FBI doing enough of an investigation for there to be not just transparency, but accountability, full accountability with regards to that misconduct from 2016, doing that on their own without appointing a special counsel. But, comparing it to the Mueller special counsel, I mean, that needs to come to an end.
How will that happen? How will it happen? You would think that Mitch McConnell, Paul Ryan would have the integrity and the interest of the nation at heart and would stand shoulder to shoulder with the president and say, enough is enough. It is time to end this madness. It is a farce being played out before the American people who are watching a Congress that seems a congressional leadership, and I'm talking about the Republican establishment here, your bosses. They seem utterly contemptuous of the American people, the Constitution, and this president.
Well, first off, my bosses are not here in Washington. My wife, my two kids, and my 725,000 constituents back home, they're the ones who I report to. I took an oath to our Constitution. That there are different sources of what I am beholden to, and it's not anything that's here in Washington.
Well, if you defy, then, Speaker Ryan, I'm sure that you will nonetheless, given the attention you pay your bosses as you catalog them, have some interesting committee assignments. Do I infer correctly?
I am here to represent my district. I love my country. I'm here for all the reasons.
We all understand how the Constitution works, Congressman. But the Speaker of the House is also elected by you and 434 other folks. So why don't we get to the point? You have a leadership that's owned lock, stock, and barrel by the Chamber of Commerce, the Business Roundtable, the GOP establishment. I mean, what in the world are we to do? We're watching this go on. It is a farce. You're obviously frustrated by it. Why not get together with the leadership and say, what in the world are you going to do?
Well, I think that everyone, including the White House, has identified that the best possible scenario would be for the Mueller investigation to end, because they have been providing tens of thousands.
Exactly.
They've provided tens of thousands of documents. They've been cooperating. They've had all of these different depositions that have taken place. They've been cooperating. The president himself said that he's willing to speak with Mueller. So, I mean, there's been full transparency.
I certainly hope it doesn't come to
this.
that, because I wouldn't trust Robert Mueller as far as I could throw him. Would you?
So,
would you seriously, Congressman, sit down with that special counsel?
The president has said over and over again that there's no collusion. I am not aware of any collusion. This is at this
So
point
what is this
in March
about?
of 2018.
What kind of farce goes on this long in public view without response from the leadership of the Republican Party on Capitol Hill and the Senate and the House saying, enough, you are subverting a president of the United States?
That's where we're at. That's what has to happen right now. I mean, the best case scenario is for it to end, not because there's anything to hide, but because there's nothing there.
But you don't even have to say that. It is, by the way, innocent until proved guilty, even with a special counsel, and the man hasn't produced an iota of evidence.
Yeah, and you know, where they went after Michael Flynn. I mean, you mentioned Peter Strzok earlier. This is also the same Peter Strzok who interviewed Michael Flynn. So when Michael Flynn ends up getting in trouble, the underlying activity, by the way, which really doesn't get spoken of, is that the Obama administration was trying to get a Security Council resolution passed through the UN seeking to ethnically cleanse Judea and Samaria and East Jerusalem, that UN Security Council 2334, that resolution. Michael Flynn was talking to these other countries, advocating for them to do the right thing, not just for America, but for our greatest ally in Israel. And then he was asked about it by Peter Strzok.
I think your larger point is that the Obama administration was corrupt and politicized nearly every executive department and the intelligence community at large. And I think we absolutely agree on this, certainly, and I commend you for calling for a second special counsel, even though I'm not sure that that is progress in this matter, to look into that corruption and malfeasance. Congressman Lee Zeldin, thank you for leading on these issues, and we appreciate you being with us here tonight.